Hare Krishna. So I welcome you all for this 8th session, Radhashtami meditations. So every day for half an hour, we are going to absorb ourselves in understanding the tattva, the nama, rupa, guna and leela of Srimati Radharani, as it is expounded by our Vaishnava acharyas. So today we will try to shed some light and understand the Radha tattva, the very first session. So one of the names of Srimati Radharani is Veda Gopya. What is Veda Gopya? So if we need some knowledge, we turn to the Vedas, right? So Vedas are the source of all knowledge. But Srimati Radharani is Veda Gopya. That is, she's hidden from even the Vedic literature. If you want to know about Srimati Radharani, even the Vedas cannot help you. Yeah, that is why she's called Veda Gopya. So then how do we understand about Radha Tattva? So to give us an understanding of the Tattva of Srimati Radharani, Lord Krishna himself descends to explain her glories, because her glories are covered from even the Vedic literature. So as Sri Krishna, in order to give us the understanding of the supremacy of Srimati Radharani's position and about her devotion, he descends himself in the mood of Srimati Radharani as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yeah, there is this beautiful bhajan by Vasudeva Ghosh. Yadi gaur na hoito tabeti hoito kemone dharitam de Radhara mahima prema rasasi jagata janate ke. That is, Yadi gaur na hoito, if Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself was not there, how would we ever know about the glories of Srimati Radharani? Yeah. Radhara Mahima Prema Rasasi. Who would know about the pinnacles of pure love of God? That is represented by Srimati Radharani. So by taking the shelter of the lotus feet of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, we will try to enter into these details of the Sri Radha Tattva. The Chaitanya Charitamrita explains that there's a beautiful verse. Radha Krishna Eka Atma Dui Deha Dhori Anyonye Vilase Rasa Aswadana Kori. Radha Krishna Eka Atma Dui Deha Dhori Anyonye Vilase Rasa Aswadana Kori. So Radha Krishna Eka Atma Dui Deha Dhari. That means they are one in substance. They're not different. Yeah, they're the same person. But for the sake of pastimes, Anyonye Vilase Rasa Aswadana Kori, for the sake of enjoying the transcendental mellows of love and devotion, this one personality, Krishna, has expanded into two. Yeah. If you and I want to enjoy, so we have to essentially depend on something external. But when Krishna wants to enjoy, he does not have to depend on anything external. He depends on his own internal potency. And that internal potency is manifested as Srimati Radharani. So it is said that the Radha and Krishna, the two transcendentalists, they're a puzzle to materialists. Yeah. So in the material world, literally everyone knows of Radha and Krishna, especially all Indians. But if you want them to explain about what is the tattva of Radharani, they think she's just another corporate girl of Vrindavan who just lived 5,000 years ago as the lover of Lord Krishna. No. Srimati Radharani, her tattva, to understand, she said she's a puzzle to the materialists. And even for the transcendentalists to understand the tattva of Srimati Radharani, it requires a very deep spiritual insight. So it's a very elevated and exalted subject matter. So that is why, with a lot of care and attention, and with a mood of devotion, we should try to understand the tattva of Srimati Radharani. Yeah. So for those who are hearing this lecture, it is already understood that you have understood that Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, a basic truth. So it is built on beyond that. So Lord Krishna is Srimati Radharani is the internal potency. So Lord Krishna has 3 different types of energies. What are these 3 different energies? The Antarangika Shakti. So there is Shakti and Shaktiman. Yeah. The Shaktiman is the possessor of energy and Shakti is the energy. So what is this Shakti of Lord Krishna? There are 3 types. There is Antarangika Shakti, there is Tatastha Shakti, and there is Bahirangika Shakti. What is Tatastha Shakti? Tatastha Shakti is all of us, the Jivatmas. They are the marginal potency. That means we have a choice to be either in the material world or in the spiritual world. So we can be here or there. That is Tatastha. Then there is Bahirangika Shakti, the external energy, which is manifested in front of us as this entire material world. Where we are living right now is the Bahirangika Shakti of Lord Krishna. And beyond these 2, there is something very interesting called the Antarangika Shakti. That is the internal energy of Lord Krishna. And what is this internal energy? This is also called the Chit Shakti, the Chit Shakti of Krishna. So this Chit Shakti of Krishna is also of 3 types. So what are these 3 types of the Chit Shakti of Krishna? The Sandhini Shakti, the Samvid Shakti, and the Hladini Shakti. So what is the Sandhini Shakti of Krishna? The Sandhini Shakti of Lord Krishna is the energy or that power by which he exists, by which he sustains. The essence of this Sandhini Shakti is manifested as what is called the Shuddha Sattva. So from this energy manifests the abode of the Lord. From this energy manifests the mother and the father of the Lord. Yeah, from this energy manifests the paraphernalia of the Lord. So all these are manifested from the Sandhini Shakti, the Shakti on which everything rests, on which Lord Krishna rests. That is Sandhini. It is actually represented by Lord Balaram. So beyond this is the Samvid Shakti. Samvid Shakti is the knowledge potency of Lord Krishna. It is the cognitive or the cognizance of the Lord. So what is cognizant? The power by which he knows himself. The power by which the Jivatma also gets to know about Lord Krishna is the Samvid Shakti. It is the knowledge potency of the Lord. The potency by which one understands the supreme position of Lord Krishna, who realizes him as the supreme personality of Godhead, is the Samvid Shakti. Apart from these 2 is the Hladini Shakti. So what is Hladini Shakti? Hladini Shakti is the pleasure potency of the Lord. This Hladini Shakti has 2 functions. So what are these 2 functions of Hladini Shakti? We also have our beautiful website, Hladini, right? So this Hladini has 2 essential functions. What are these functions? Very interesting. The first function of the Hladini Shakti is to give pleasure to Krishna. Yeah, any service that is rendered and offered from the lotus hands of Lord Srimati Radharani to Krishna gives unlimited pleasure to Krishna. So that is the function of Hladini Shakti, to give pleasure to Krishna. And second function is Bhaktera Poshana. It nourishes the devotees of Lord Krishna. So if all of us are feeling nourished in our bhakti, yeah, if we are feeling sheltered in bhakti, it is because of the Hladini Shakti. So these are the two functions of the Hladini Shakti. So the Sandhini, Samvid, and Hladini. So these are the energies of the Supreme Lord. So let us understand more distinctly about what is this Hladini. Yeah. So the scriptures describe Hladini Shakti as, in a beautiful verse, Hladinira Sara Prema, Prema Sara Bhava. The essence of Hladini Shakti is Prema. Hladinira Sara Prema. And Prema Sara Bhava. The essence of that Prema or love is Bhava or pure spiritual emotions. Bhavera Paramakashta Nama Mahabhava. Bhavera Paramakashta. That means the ultimate manifestation of this emotion is called Mahabhava. Yeah, I repeat what I said. Hladinira Sara Prema, Prema Sara Bhava. The essence of Hladini Shakti is Prema, that is pure spiritual love. And the essence of this pure spiritual love is emotion or Bhava. And the ultimate expression of this Bhava, Bhavera Paramakashta, Nama Mahabhava. The ultimate expression of this Bhava is called the Mahabhava. And further explanation is given that Mahabhava Swarupini Sri Radha Thakurani. So the embodiment of this entire Mahabhava is Srimati Radharani. Yeah. Sarva Guna Khani Krishna Kanta Shiromani. And who is this Srimati Radharani? Sarva Guna Khani. That means all the most beautiful, adorable, feminine qualities all put together. Sarva Guna Khani. Khani means she is the treasure house of all the transcendental qualities. Krishna Kanta Shiromani. Krishna Kanta means of all the lovers of Krishna, she's the Shiromani. She's the topmost crest jewel. That is Srimati Radharani. Another name of Radharani is also Gopa Gopi. That means she's the best of all the gopis. Yeah. There's also beautiful Pradhana Paddhati written by Srila Rupa Goswami, in which he writes about the beautiful the position of Srimati Radharani. Shuddha Gangeya Gaurangim Kurangim Langi Mekshanam Jitakoti Indu Bimbasyam Ambudambara Samritam Navina Vallavi Vrinda Dhammilottam Samallikam Divya Ratnadi Alankara Sevyamanatanushriyam. Yeah, Navina Vallavi Vrinda Dhammilottam Samallikam. That is, she is like the best of the flower, that is decorating the braid. It comes in that sense that she's the best. It's like the crest jewel of all the gopis. So Mahabhava Swarupini is Srimati Radharani. And she is Sarva Guna Khani and Shri Krishna Kanta Shiromani. And what is she? And what is she made of? So Srimati Radharani is not, she's not made of anything material. She's completely spiritual. It is said that Krishna Prema Bhavita Yanra Chittendriya Kaya. That means Chitta Indriya Kaya. Chitte, Chitta is mind. Indriya means the senses. Kaya means the body. The mind, body, and the senses of Srimati Radharani are steeped in the love of Krishna. That is her tattva. Yeah. She is not anything material. She is not a lady or, long ago I have heard a lecture of Radhashtami in Pune NVCC temple. So one Maharaj has come, and one mind-blowing thing Maharaj had said is, if you're thinking Radharani is a female, that you've not understood her tattva. It is not male or female of the material sense. Yeah, she is Krishna himself. Yeah, the embodiment of his pleasure potency. So what is her tattva? Yeah, what is her tattva? She has a body, she has a mind and her senses. But what are these three? These three are completely spiritual. Why they are spiritual? Because they are Krishna Prema Bhavita. They are steeped in the love of Krishna, which is the ultimate goal of life. So this is, the Radha Tattva. And she is personified Hladini Shakti of Lord Krishna, and her eternal service is to always render unlimited services and to please Krishna. So this is, in brief, in essence, what is the tattva of Srimati Radharani? I spoke about the energies of Lord Krishna and how there is Hladini Shakti, and the essence of this Hladini Shakti is prema. The essence of this prema is the bhava, and the essence, the topmost expression of this bhava is Mahabhava, and this Mahabhava Swarupini is Srimati Radharani. And her Chittendriya Kaya, her mind, body, and senses are steeped in pure love of Krishna. And her eternal service is to render unlimited services to Lord Krishna and to please him with her very being. That's the essence of her tattva. And so with this, I will just move to explain something about what is, in essence, the love of Srimati Radha. So, I mean, before even understanding what is the love of Radharani, let's understand what is the love of the Braj Gopis and how it is different. So recently I was here reading this wonderful topic of Ragatmika Bhakti in Jaiva Dharma. A very, very interesting concept. So there is something called pure love that we all know. But the love of gopis is higher than even pure love. Very mind-blowing. So I'll just tell you what it is. So the Ragatmika Bhakti is of two types. These two types of Ragatmika Bhakti are the Kama Rupa Ragatmika Bhakti, and the second is the Sambandha Rupa Ragatmika Bhakti. What is Sambandha Rupa Ragatmika Bhakti? That is pure love, unalloyed love. That is, it is not tinged with any material inebrities. So that is Sambandha Rupa Ragatmika Bhakti. And that is represented by the love of the Brajvasis towards Krishna, the love of Nanda Maharaj, love of Yashoda Mai towards Krishna. Spontaneous, selfless, unconditional, pure, and unalloyed. So this is Sambandha Rupa Ragatmika Bhakti. And there is another form of love called the Kama Rupa Ragatmika. And what is this love? This is the love, pure love, that is tinged with Kama. And interestingly, this is higher than the Sambandha Rupa Kama Ragatmika Bhakti. That is, the pure love that is tinged with Kama is higher than pure love. And this love is represented by the gopis, the Braja Gopis of Vrindavan. So why and how? So this is a deep science. Maybe I will explain this when we discuss about the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So, and this Kama is not the lust of the mundane rasa. It is completely selfless, and it is exhibited by topmost transcendentalists like the gopis, who have overcome all the material contaminations and have attained highest perfection through the highest form of purification. Yeah. So that's the love of the gopis towards Lord Krishna. And how is this love different from lust? So this is another very important subject matter to understand. So with this, I will just end after telling a pastime. So this love is different from lust is because it is number one is totally selfless. This entire love is directed towards giving pleasure to Krishna. Like, for example, the scriptures explain that when the gopis are dressing themselves, the mood in which they dress themselves, the gopis are very, very beautiful. The most beautiful women in all the three worlds are the gopis. And it is written, I'll explain in one of the writings of Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati. He writes that the beauty of Srimati Radharani is the manifestation of her love for Krishna. So this beauty is not some kind of a personal feel good to be happy, but the beauty is purely for the pleasure of Krishna. It is said in the scriptures that when the gopis dress themselves, they dress thinking that, yes, this body gives pleasure to Krishna. So let me dress in such a way, in such an immaculate way, such an impeccable way, that it actually gives pleasure to the eyes of Lord Krishna. This is the level of their love for the Lord. So in this way, the complete absorption is what gives pleasure to Krishna. And Lord Krishna, by seeing these beautiful qualities of the gopis and the beauty that is manifesting as an expression of those qualities, he becomes very pleased. And seeing Lord Krishna pleased gives so much of joy to Krishna, to the gopis. So it's like an unending cycle. Krishna becomes very pleased seeing the qualities of the gopis, and gopis become very joyful seeing Krishna pleased. Yeah, and it continues on and on. So seeing the gopis very joyful, Krishna exhibits more and more of his transcendental beauty. And seeing Krishna more and more beautiful, the gopis become more and more joyful. Yeah, and again, seeing the gopis joyful, Krishna becomes more beautiful. In this way, their beauty and their joy, they increase unlimitedly. So, in this way, the you know the joy of the gopis is is intrinsic to the joy of Krishna. So that is why this love is not contaminated by lust. Yeah. The joy of the gopis nourishes the love of Krishna. So that is why this, there is no contamination of lust. And what is lust? Lust is selfishness, selfish aggrandizement, thinking of one's own happiness. That is lust. And exactly opposite is love. Yeah, Atmendriya Preeti, that is to give importance to one's own sense gratification or one's own happiness, is lust. That's the definition of lust. Then what is love? Love is actually the selfless desire to please one's beloved, not caring for one's own happiness. So much so that, there are great devotees of the Lord who deny their own spiritual ecstasies just to serve Lord Krishna. One of the greatest examples is Daruka. Daruka is a charioteer of Lord Krishna. So the Nectar of Devotion explains that once when he was fanning the Lord, seeing the great, the ecstatic beauty of Krishna, tears started flowing from his eyes. Yeah. And not just tears, his limbs started trembling. The Nectar of Devotion explains the various ecstatic symptoms that manifest in the body of a devotee out of extreme love for the Lord. So Daruka, seeing that beauty of Krishna, the unlimited beauty of Krishna, his limbs started trembling. But he felt, I do not want these ecstatic symptoms because my limbs are trembling. I'm unable to serve my Lord properly. I'm unable to fan him properly. So let these ecstatic symptoms not touch me. I want to do my service perfectly. So this is how a devotee thinks. They're not bothered about their own satisfaction. They only want Krishna to be happy. Similarly, Srimati Radharani, when she was seeing the unlimited beauty of Krishna, tears started flowing out of her eyes as ecstatic symptom. But she cursed those tears. Oh, tears, go away. I'm unable to see Govinda properly. Yeah. So this is how the devotees always want to give pleasure to Krishna more than their own enjoyment. And what is the result of this? The gopis, because they're so eager to give pleasure to Krishna, they experience a pleasure that is million times more than what Krishna experiences as a pleasure upon seeing the gopis. Yeah, they experience pleasure that is million times more than what Krishna experiences. So this is a contradiction. The gopis, they're not concerned about their own happiness, but they are given 10,000, million times more bliss and pleasure than what Krishna himself experiences. So this is, the very transcendental and ecstatic nature of the loving exchanges between the gopis and Krishna. And the topmost of those gopis is Srimati Radharani. So this is the tattva of Srimati Radharani, which I thought in brief I will explain. So tomorrow, I thought I'll explain one more pastime, a short pastime of how the love of Radharani manifested as the Navadvipa Dhama. Anyway, in 2 minutes, I'll explain that. It's a short story. So once when Lord Krishna was in Vrindavan, he was enjoying his pastimes like a bumblebee enjoys a lotus flower. He was enjoying his pastimes with another gopi whose name is Viraja. So somehow some of the Sakhis, Radharani has different types of Sakhis. So in the next session, we'll learn about this. What are the Sakhi Gana? Who are her Priya Narma Sakhis? Who are the confidential associates? Who are her Kaya Rupa Sakhis? There are different gradations. Ujjvala Neelamani gives a very nice understanding of this. So we'll learn about this in the next session. So one of her Sakhis actually goes and tells Radharani, see, Krishna is enjoying with Viraja. So Radharani, hearing that, immediately, a lot of bereavement, she rushes to the place. And when she rushes to the place, immediately Viraja gets to know and she manifests as a river. And Krishna, he disappears from the scene. So Radharani, being very disappointed, she thinks, what should I do to bring back Krishna to myself? Then, she goes. And so between Yamuna and Ganga, she manifests a beautiful abode. These are transcendental pastimes. Please let us not look at it from a mundane point of view. So Srimati Radharani, out of her unlimited love to attract Krishna back to her, she manifests a beautiful abode between the Ganga and Yamuna. So this abode, she, beautifies them with unlimited number of amazing and beautiful creepers and trees. And there are male and female bucks. Yeah, and it's completely infused with so many groves of tulasi. And melodious birds were always chirping. And Kandarpa, Cupid, is always manifest in this entire place. And after manifesting this beautiful place through her own potency, Srimati Radharani, then she takes a flute and she plays the flute and plays a very, very beautiful melody that is very dear to Lord Krishna. And hearing this flute that is played by Srimati Radharani, immediately Krishna becomes attracted. He couldn't resist. And he immediately comes to Srimati Radharani. And when he comes and he sees the entire abode, he becomes so thoroughly conquered. And he tells Radharani, "Oh Radhe, for me you have manifested this entire place. Please hear from me that this place is so, so very dear to me. It's as dear to me as your own self. And here, by my potency, I manifest the different Sakhis of Vrindavan. And let me give the benediction that whoever comes here and worships you and me will be blessed with the Sakhi Bhava and will attain us in the eternal abode in Goloka Vrindavan. And this place will be named as Nava Vrindavan, also called the Navadvipa, because this is an island. And that's how, Lord Krishna gives unlimited blessings. And he says, whoever visits this place becomes blessed with Shuddha Bhakti. And this pastime is narrated by Lord Shiva to Parvati in the Ananta Samhita. And he gives a benediction that whoever remembers this story or recites this story early in the morning when they wake up, they're blessed with the shelter of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, by whose mercy one attains the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna. So with this, I'll end today's session. I just thought I'll talk for half an hour. Yeah, but I think it's more or less just a half an hour. Tomorrow, we will continue with the next topic. Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.